First of all, I would like to say that I was very skeptical about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, because you know, all that recent EA drama. I didn't want to pay the full price for an underdeveloped game with a short boring story filled with loot boxes or surprise mechanics, as they call them, but after watching a few reviews and gameplays, I decided to give it a try. And I must say, the game is actually not that bad. Of course there is room for improvement, but overall I enjoyed the game more than I expected to. So leaving aside all the hype and the fact that I am a die-hard fan of the Star Wars universe, I will try to make this review as objective as possible.
Graphics.
I must say that on PC this game looks absolutely beautiful, even though I'm not playing it on max settings. From the design of the characters, ships and environments to the smallest details like the raindrops falling on objects, the footprints and weather effects, this game is a delight to feast your eyes in. The animations look good and fluid, and there is a certain degree of variety when performing the same action over and over again. The cutscenes and cinematics are well made and they don't seem intrusive. In fact, at times they connect so well with the gameplay that I found myself staring at the screen waiting for something to happen instead of playing the game. Also, I didn't encounter any glitches or immersion breaking bugs. There were some lighting glitches, but hey, what can you do? The world around you looks and feels as it should, amazing and Star Warsy? Overall, in my opinion, the graphics of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order deserves 5 out of 5 stars, or bardic quills in my case.
Music and sound.
Now, I know I may not show you this, copyrights and all, but trust my bardic opinion. This game sounds good. The music is dynamic and it develops around your action, giving you that movie feel that you are used to hear when watching the trilogies. At times you are enveloped in an epic composition of battle tunes, giving you the feeling that you could take on the whole galaxy by yourself. And there are other times that you could barely hear the subtle notes of the music, like when you solve a puzzle or explore certain areas of the map. I personally enjoyed the music, but I cannot say it stuck in my head, like the music themes from the Witcher series or Mass Effect trilogy. Not Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda is more like in all aspects. But anyway, getting back to Jedi Fallen Order. The ambience plays a great role in this game, and it is delivered perfectly. It manages to create the perfect atmosphere of rising tension or immediate threat standing behind the next corner. At times, I found myself listening to the music and trying to anticipate what will happen next in the game. Somehow, they managed to create these amazing sound effects resembling both the classical effects that you are used to from the movies, but also with a hint of new and fresh high-quality sounds specific to the new Star Wars franchise. For example, take the blaster shots. Or ships. And yes, the lightsaber sound effects. The voice acting is good for both heroes and villains.
Outstanding.
And even the bystanders you encounter seem to deliver high quality voice acting. The dialogue is okay, not great but okay. At times a bit dull, but overall on point, managing to crack a smile or even chuckle from time to time. The main character, Cal, seems a bit off when delivering some of the lines, but that could be the interpretation of the voice actor, or who knows, maybe it's the Jedi code forbidding him to express emotions? All in all, my rating for the music and sounds is 4 out of 5 quills.
Gameplay.
The gameplay is how should I put this? The gameplay is a sequence of linear, scripted events that are triggered when you reach a certain checkpoint on the map. At times, it may give you the impression of choice, like a few dialogues in which you can select from 2 different reactions or choosing which planet to go next, but those choices don't matter at all because the outcome is the same, and you will still have to go back and forth between planets if you want to entirely explore them. Yes, you heard that right. If you want to explore the planets and find all the secrets they hide, you have to go back and forth between them due to some section of the maps being locked away behind skills and ciphers. So you will have to go to a different planet and acquire certain skills in order to go to another planet to get the cipher, then just to return and complete the first planet. At this point, if you don't have a compulsive need to redo all the platforming sessions, do not bother unlocking every door, because behind them all you can find are some pieces of lore or customization items that are purely cosmetic. Gee, thank you EA! The main part of the gameplay can be roughly divided into 3 categories: combat, puzzles, and platforming. The combat part of the gameplay is the best section of the game. There are multiple combos, skills, and force power upgrades to choose from when leveling up. The lightsaber feels just right in your hands, and the combat animations look fluid and natural. It feels very satisfying when fighting bosses with your lightsaber, deflecting blasters, or force pushing small-sized enemies from edges. And like me, you might find yourself trying different tactics to overcome different types of, let's say, unfriendly characters. The enemies can be hard to beat, so be mindful of your tactics. Similar to the Dark Souls series, there are checkpoints spread around the maps where you can save the game, level up, and rest to regain your health. But be aware that after you rest, the enemies will respawn. The puzzles are a nice addition to the gameplay, and they can help the player relax between combat and platforming sections. You will often find yourself in need to solve a puzzle in order to advance to the next area, and while most of them are not that hard, some might be a bit challenging to solve. The platforming element of the game plays the most important part, just because most of the time you will find yourself jumping, double jumping, wall running, climbing, jumping, wall running, still wall running, jumping and climbing. So I guess after all, this is an EA Sports game? Anyway, if you're not a fan of platformers, this is definitely not a game for you. Keep in mind that this game is constructed around platforming, and you might sigh in relief when you encounter a puzzle or a combat section. The best way to describe it? A combination of Prince of Persia and Tomb Raider with Star Wars elements. A Star Prince Raider of the Tomb Wars of Persia? I also spoke of customization. Well yes, there is a lot of customization going on, from lightsaber color, lightsaber parts, clothes, droid companion color and ship color. Yes, ship color, because you get to ride and explore the ship you share with the other hero characters I previously mentioned. Although there are a lot of options for customization, they do not change your stats. They are purely cosmetic, so yeah, no loot boxes for cosmetics. You did it right this time, EA. So, my rating for the gameplay will have to be a 4 out of 5 stars. I mean, quills.
Story.
Now, I'm not gonna talk that much about the story, because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's worth mentioning that Jedi Fallen Order is the story of Cal Kestis, a Padawan who survived the events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, and it takes place 5 years after the end of the Clone Wars. In my opinion, the story seems pretty solid, with a lot of breathtaking action moments, exciting reveals, and quite a few emotional scenes that make you forget your Jedi training and give in to your emotions. Still, there are a few parts at the beginning of the game that will seem less exciting, but the plot will keep you going to see what happens next. The story is good and captivating, but it's also relatively short, 20-25 hours depending on your playstyle, and because of that it may seem rushed, not allowing you to fully understand the events or characters. They could have added more content for the players to immerse in, but it's a start, considering the previous Star Wars games by EA. Due to the fact that the game is short, the characters are a bit underdeveloped and you cannot really relate to them or understand their motives. Don't get me wrong, I love the characters, both heroes and villains, but after playing the game, I was left wanting to know more about them. 4 out of 5 quills for the story. So, to end my review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I must say that I truly enjoyed it in every aspect, and for that the game deserves a solid 4 out of 5 quills. Do you see, EA? It is possible to make a good single-player game after all. With a little more effort, the game could have been the best Star Wars title we played so far. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed my video, please like, subscribe and share. Till the next time.